Welcome to this look at a new mod map on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. Welcome to Neverland. This is a new mod map out by Rastaman, 184.39 megabytes download. I have to say, I didn't have any trouble finding it. You're welcome. We start here at our farmhouse and sleep trigger. Better not step out onto the road just in case. The map looks like this. On New Farmer, we start with plot up here, 26, which has got a sheep farm and some equipment, which we'll get up to later. Plot 18, which has some greenhouses on it. We'll talk about production chains in a moment. And then plot 4 down the bottom here, which is the main farm, I guess. Field prices, I mean, there aren't that many fields, but there's some big fields. We've got a lot of grass areas and we've got some woodland areas. Sawmills up around here. Again, we'll get to that in a little while. But yeah, field prices, I mean, that's 141 grand, 158. There's not really small fields. There's a few medium ones and some plots. And then we kind of start working up to larger fields, really. 1.4 million, 2 million, or just over 2 million. 446 grand, 487 grand. So yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of small stuff to start off with. You kind of have to work it out. As far as plots in the middle, well, we've got a lot of the production chains and there's some facilities. You can't buy those plots, which is unfortunate. I know sometimes people like to add an extra sell points onto plots like that or other buildings to make it their own. But there are some of these facilities where we can't actually buy the plots of land. Just so you're aware of that. We can talk about slot count straight away, actually. On New Farmer, which we're on, actually we'll go around this side here. It is 1594. Now it does say, greetings from Neverland. Everything you need to start comfortable farming. They're not joking. 1594, you do start with a lot of machinery and not, I mean, like big machinery as well, some big gear. Chicken coop, 360 chickens it will hold just here. As far as mods go, there's no modded vehicles or machinery put in by the map maker. And as far as build mode goes, there's only in build mode. Under animals, we've got an added cow barn with feeding robots. So there's your standard at 722,500, which will do 80. This will do 120. And then under sheep, we've got that one there, standard, 97 grand, which will do 65. This one for 97 grand will do 100. That's it. There's nothing under decoration, landscaping, productions, nothing. Everything else on the map is standard fare. Nothing unusual or untoward. Pig pen, 270 pigs. This will do. We do have a manure heap around the back or to the side of this. We have a silage clamp just here. And interestingly, worth talking about while we go past it, we do start with a biogas plant. So we'll talk about that now. Production chains that we start with. I'm going to turn all those off. So at the main farm here, we start with the biogas plant 500 kilowatt. Further up the map, which we'll get to later on, we start off with 5 large greenhouses. We also own, off the start, the spinnery, the grain mill, the bakery, dairy, oil mill, sugar mill and tailors. There are a couple of others up there. I think there are some others left. Carpentry. What else? Cereal factory. There's a few we don't own, but you do own quite a lot. Now you do own all of those on all 3 game modes. The only difference is when you come onto here on Farm Manager and start from scratch, because you don't own the land yet that we're standing on, the biogas plant won't be showing. This one won't be shown, but once you buy the land, that will then pop up here on your production chain. So we do start with a few production chains. So this is one of those maps you can just come on and just play. It's designed for you, there's loads of gear. Come on, have a go. So, silage clamp, manure pit, and manure heap, that's for the pigs. Then we come across here, and we start to have a look at some of the equipment and machinery. So we've got a big old Fendt, which we're going to be using momentarily. We've got ourselves a John Deere front loader and front loader gear. Nice large John Deere harvester with the HD50 header, big old header. Large seeders and planters, cultivator, roller, big baler, auto stack for your square bales, large slurry spreading gear, muck spreader, blind and blank, large muck spreader, trailers like forage trailers. We've got a standard trailer, but that does forage. Forage trailer for pickup, flatbed trailer. We do start with the big old sugar beet beast. What is nice as well, number plates on here all say Neverland on the number plates. We've got a lorry over here with a tanker. Over by the cow pen, this is the one with feeding robot modded that will do 120. So 120 cows. It's standard other than that, where all the triggers and stuff are. The milk trigger is just there behind that, that's why the tanker's just there. There are 100 collectibles on the map. You can see one there. I mean, there are loads of them scattered around. Obviously, there are 100 of them. You'll see them as we go around. As we come a bit further, and that's not all the gear. There's more gear up at the sheep farm as well. And again, big stuff. But, sorry, I said I wasn't talking about slot count. 1,594. If you come onto here on Farm Manager or start from scratch, it comes down to 1,292. You don't start with any of the vehicles and machinery. All the buildings, though, are all still here. Down here and up at the sheep farm. And the greenhouses as well. That's something I didn't remove. I should have tried that. If you don't want any of this gear, or you want to remove some of this gear, all of this is removable, including the big floodlights, the spotlights. Can all be removed from here. If you remove all of it, it will look a little bit like this. Yeah, I managed to get the slot count down to 1,154. You can probably get it lower because I forgot about the greenhouses. So if you remove the greenhouses as well, there's some other stuff up there. You could probably get it even lower than that. Like I say, and then you can make it more kind of start from scratch. You know, it's in touch what you want to do. As is always the case when I do my map tours. We do have a slurry extension pit just there. We're going to go back down past the biogas plant momentarily. Pick this out of the front. I kind of did the chicken coop and went directly to the biogas plant, but to the side of that we've got a Farmer 800 silo, 800,000 litre silo. But behind that we've got 4 Farmer 250 extensions. Each one of those is 250,000 litres. So that's another million litres. That's 1.8 million litres. It's standard crop types, it's not multi-fruit. So you've got your Farmer 800 at the front with extensions at the back. 25,000 litre fuel tank here, which is empty at the moment, but we can refill it. We have got a weigh station, which can also be removed. And then at the front here, we have got a workshop just on the road. So we can offer workshop facilities to passers-by as well as the main farm. So like I say, all of this can be removed, but this is the main farm. From here, we're going to whiz round the front, because part of the main farm as well, we have 2 haylofts. And what's interesting is they've been, I say labelled, that's what they've got sticky labels on them. Again, they're standard in-game haylofts, but, and they're just to the back here, one has got the hay logo on it and one has got the straw logo on it, as you can see. Now, these can be removed. However, when I removed them in part of my effort to see how low I can get the slot count down, when I removed both the haylofts, those symbols, those icons stayed where they are, and it looked like this. Again, just something to be aware of. If you decided you didn't want to, or you didn't want them there, if you do remove them, those icons will remain. So unfortunately, you may have to leave those there. But yeah, 2 haylofts. Red Marble Bowling Restaurant to our left. And then, like I say, this is all standard in-game, sort of standard game stuff. We've got the fast food restaurant just here. We've got a couple of marinas, harbour areas, with the sea to our south, with very large container shipping going past fairly regularly as well. Not a single pirate ship anywhere. I did wonder when I saw the name, and I thought, oh, I wonder, you know, whether there's going to be any kind of reference to Peter Pan or anything like that, but there's not. I thought it might be some of the stuff named or anything like that, but Hook's Restaurant or something like that, but no. We do have a railway, which we're going to get to in a moment as well. The railway runs west to east. We've got a bridge over this end, and I think all the other ways and all the ways across are teeth back in are under it. So Grain West silo is where we are next. This is one of the railroad transfer silos, so you can store stuff in it. It is a standard railroad silo in that it's not just wheat crops. It will do things like grapes and olives. It will do potatoes, sugar beet, sugar cane, wood chip, seed, but it's not a full multi-crop. The railroad silos aren't usually. They do a lot of extra stuff. So this is a fairly standard railroad silo. We have got a rent train point just down here. So hop out through the trees. Here's our rent train point just here. And the train will come from west under the bridge and go out that way. And when you send stuff off, it will take it to Goldcrest Valley. That's where it's going to. Oh, how about that for timing? That was spot on. So, it has a very... I'm sort of looking at the layout, although slightly condensed. The way the railroad goes, the silo, that kind of thing, the bridges over and under. Elm Creek. It's a very Elm Creek vibe to it. We can go a little bit further out there. There's another little harbour area. There's no sell points or anything out that way. And then to our left here, just round the back, we have got the South Valley Biomass Energy, which is just behind there. Crossing over the bridge and onto the main road, we will head east in front of oncoming traffic, as I always tend to do in these situations. So, into sort of the main town area, and as I've already said, we do start with a few production chains that are in there. Not all of them, but we do start with a few. Now, again, you have to be wary. You can sell them, but the buildings don't disappear. So, if you kind of go on a bit of a spree of, I don't want it, I'll get rid of it. If you try and sell it, you'll get the money for the building, but the building doesn't disappear, so you can't put a different production chain in its place. So that's also something to be aware of. All nicely signposted as well, down to the Red Marble Bowl, the two roads that can lead down there. Just to our right here, we've got a debris crusher. And this was part of what I was saying. If we go back to our main mappage, just here, a lot of these plots, like I said, we can't buy them. So if you wanted to add a different sell point in or add something else, unfortunately we can't access the land to do that. But it is what it is. Gas station just to our right. A little bit further along here we've got the Grocery Mart sell point, which is just here. And the Grocery Mart sell point is round behind the building. Again, like fairly standard stuff. Back across this way we have got our vehicle store and workshop trigger. This is also the reset point for the map, so should you need to reset anything for any reason, it will reset back to here. Across the way we have got our dairy. We've got carpentry to our left. We've got bakery also to our left. We've got the oil mill. We've got the cereal factory. We duck in here. We've got the livestock market, animal dealer. What is nice, it's showing on the map, just there. It says cow pasture. You can't access that cow pasture, but that just gives the ability for the map maker to put into the livestock market. We have got animals which aren't just static, they are moving around, which adds a little bit of immersion to it. I like that. I'm sure people will try and find ways of buying those cows or getting them out or doing something, but I'm not sure that you can. So animal dealer, and then around the back here we've got the animal dealer sell point, kind of like a bale sell point, just there. Across the way we have our grain mill. As we start with it, we can just manage the facility as with the other ones that I've already mentioned. It's a difficult one because I know some people, I've done it again. Some people like to build up to buying production chains, but then I suppose there are other people that just I just want to be able to use them. So I don't know. It's a difficult one, isn't it? Sugar mill, Taylor's just there. We'll continue out of the town. a bit further up, we've got Johnson's Farmers Market off to the right. To our left, we've got a lime station. As we move north up the map, we come into a more hilly and mountainous region of the map. We're going to head out west first. Actually looks this time. We will come back along this way in a moment, and I'll show you, as I always do, where we've been and where we're going and all that kind of thing. So we do start with the biogas plant down at the main farm, which, like I said, you can sell if you want to. You can get rid of it if you don't have the biogas plant here. Up on the hill here, we've got the town biogas plant. Now this is one of those ones you can't buy the land. However, the biogas plant is 1.5 million to buy the biogas plant. As far as I can tell, it's a standard biogas plant. There's nothing modded showing in build mode, so it'll be your standard 24 cycles per month, regular crop type sort of thing. So biogas plant up here on the hill, and then out from here, it's mostly, I mean, there are trees around the map, as you can see, but most of the woodland available for doing, if you want to do any forestry, is more out to the western side. I'm just going to cut across the top of the hill. You can go all the way down and back up again, but just for the sake of time and expediency and that kind of thing, we cut across here. We come into the sawmill. Nicely laid out. Now, I will say this as well. The lighting's good. It's one of those ones where you go around, I've said this so many times, where you have areas of a map which seem darker than others, which is always, I find, kind of interesting. The lighting's good, textures, colour palette, all very nice indeed. And whilst it is your standard in-game, you know, facilities, production chains, all that kind of stuff, it is blended in really well. There's a clinical feel to it. It feels very kind of organised, but it works well. You know, so standard sawmill section over here for production of plankage, planks, and your wood chips that you will produce will be just there. We'll cut back across. So what we're going to do now, I'll show you the map where we have been and where we're going to be heading. So we started off down here at the main farm, did the main farm area, we came out along there and down to the two haylofts, Red Marble Bowl and fast food restaurant. We came up there, railroad silo, rent train, South Valley biomass energy, up onto the main road and out across the debris crusher, gas station, grocery mart. No, sorry, debris crusher, gas station, grocery mart, vehicle store. Then we did all the buildings up through here, animal dealer and that kind of stuff. Up there, out to the biogas plant. We're now here at the sawmill. So we're going to head back from here, back past the biogas plant, back past the turn we came out, and we'll head along to this bit just here, which is part of the bits we own on New Farmer, plot 18. I will see you over there momentarily. Just coming up on the turning that we came out of. Now, as I said, you do start with, on all three game modes, the 5 greenhouses. Farm management start from scratch, you won't own the land, but once you've bought the land, they're all there anyway. So they are available to remove if you want to. Large greenhouses, standard in game, they just require water. Right hand side, we've got a horse stable, 14 horses. Finished shed and building space. We've got farmer 400 silo, that hasn't got any extensions on it. Farmer 400 silo just there. A couple of red barns to our right and another hayloft just there. Now we're heading up into the hills. Quick ways around to our left here. We've got the grape processing unit with a little vineyard next to it. All very efficient. So if you want to do a little bit of that, I mean, you can do it anyway, you can place your own, but we have one already here on the map. And now we're heading up towards the hotel on the top of the hill. This is the Adventuring Business Hotel, Sell Point, top of the hill, mountain. I tell you what I did get a feeling of, it's really weird, I don't know why I did, but you've got fencing there to denote sort of the top part of the map. And as we cross over here, we've got the river coming down, cutting in. You've got the fencing and the walls that go down, and that little canyon between. I had a real Jurassic Park vibe to that. I don't know why. Just suddenly had this. Odd that, innit? So up here at the top sell point, you've got two separate points there. One will be for your grain crops. One is for your production chain pallets and things like that. And then we come to the sheep farm. So, sheep just the side here. This will do 100 sheep. Spinnery right next door. Again, very efficient. Spinnery next door to that. And here's the rest of the machinery that we start with on New Farmer. And as I said, there's no mucking around. You start with big stuff right off the bat. It's all the stuff you will need to do a bit of grass work. Excessive? Do you think having two balers and two auto stacks? I don't know. I'm trying to think of another map I've come across where we start with. I mean, there are maps you start with a lot of big equipment, or some big equipment, or but you don't often get multiples of sets of equipment. I'm not criticising the map maker. I'm just, it's interesting. There's duplicates of. I thought, for some reason, I thought it was a round baler up here, but it's not. It's another square baler. Anyway, that being said, back to the tractor. We'll head around and we'll have a look off of the. I say the deck, but it's my deck at home. Look a bit pathetic, really, but and it's a little bit bigger than a veranda, isn't it? But at the hotel, so it's a little bit of a blend of Elm Creek and blanked, complete blank. You know what I mean. Erlengrad. Yeah, so a nice sort of blend of the two, really. Right then. That's all you're getting. That's all the views you're going to get. From here then. Back down. That's what I was on check as well. Pricing. Because it does say great redemption prices in a mountain hotel but harder to access. Where are we? Adventure in business hotel. Oh, okay. Yeah, the prices are better. Grapes and olives. Sending them off by train normally it pays better. They're all around up around 1,000, but a business hotel 1,247. Olives a little bit more. Yeah, prices are better. I must say, when I read that initially, I was thinking that it says great redemption prices in a mountain hotel but harder to access, and I thought, you'll come on here and it's going to be a real difficult pass, like Spectacle Island, where you had to drive up around and you had real sort of rickety bridges and narrow canyons, and I'm thinking, wow, how difficult is it going to be to get those extra prices? It's not too bad. It's hilly, and if you've got small vehicles and stuff, if you start off with small vehicles, you might struggle up the hill a little bit, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, which is it's quite nice. So heading east again, and then heading south down to the last few sell points on the map. We have a very large facility looming up. Again, this is one of those ones where you've got all this facility here and not the ability to buy the land it's on. But it's all part of one facility. So this is Grain Pool East. So the other side we have Grain West Silo. This is the other end of the railroad tracks. This is the second railroad silo, so Grain Pool East. So transfer silo or storage silo, it's entirely up to you. In and out here and then onto the train at the other side. This is all part of this facility here. And if we cut down, have we got this right? Yeah, we've got another rent train point here. There is a rent train point in the middle of the map. I'll show you that as well. Right there. So there's the rent train point there. So I showed you that one. we've now gone all the way around up the top. We've come down to here, and we're now at this point here. So you've got one there, but there's also, like I say, one right slap bang in the middle there in the town. Crossing the railroad. Round to Feed and Grain South. Again, another large facility. Sell point is just there. And out from Feed and Grain South. The last of our sell points on the map. The main farm is just over there, which we're going to sort of head back towards now. We come to Neverland Harbour. Plenty of space on this map, not a lot in the way of fences, hedges, anything like that. Neverland Harbour, sell point just there, again for grain type crops and pallets to be sold. And then the main farm, just a bit further over. And that's the map. That's Neverland by Rastaman. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free, and if you want to share this video, then please be my guest, whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.